If you're searching for a large platform rack to fit your extra gear or create a more advanced overland system, this Barricade HD platform roof rack is a great choice for your 2018 or newer 4-door JL Wrangler. Now, this full-length system is perfect for the JL owner who needs to maximize the storage space inside of their Wrangler and wants to take advantage of the exterior space that they have with a capable platform rack, being great for overlanding, camping, or even just fitting that extra cargo that you need to bring with you on your family vacation. Now, while it is a larger roof rack system, it's also one that doesn't require modification if you are looking for a full-length roof rack but don't want to make any major modifications to your JL in order to gain that exterior space. Now, this features a full-length platform design spanning from the windshield to the back of the hardtop, which offers a ton of space for larger accessories like a rooftop tent, a combination of camping or off-road gear, standard cargo, or really whatever you can think of. Now, the rack has a capacity or a weight capacity of up to 300 pounds, so you can really use your imagination to customize this system. It does include auxiliary lighting on the front windshield mount here, so you can also customize when it comes to those accessories as well. Now, this also comes with 6 center slats here, which are going to support whatever you are mounting up on top of your Wrangler, and they come with 2 T-style slots or seams in the middle for mounting up additional accessories. The sides also have an abundance of cutouts, and while they do add a lot of style to the sides of the roof rack, they are also useful for tying down and securing your gear, so you can really take advantage of how you want to customize your setup or your build with this system. Now, when it comes to the build and the construction of this roof rack, this has a hybrid construction. So it's both made of aluminum as well as steel components. Now, these center sections here, these are made of a lightweight yet durable aluminum that's going to offer solid support and offer a little bit of weight savings compared to a full steel choice. Now, where you're getting a lot of the support and structure is on the outer portions of the rack, the sides, and the front, which are made of a steel material. Now, everything here is covered in a black powder coat finish to, of course, add a heavy-duty appearance to the top of your Wrangler, but also protect the steel from rusting and the aluminum from corroding over time, especially with being subjected to the elements when mounted up on top of the Jeep. Now, I do want to call out that this is only a couple of components out of the entire kit because of the pure size of it. Only some could fit on the table here, but this does include all of the required hardware, all of the clamps that are going to attach to the drip rails on your Jeep, and everything that you need for a fairly straightforward and modification and drill-free install. Now, this is about $850, which is on the lower side of the spectrum for a full-length platform rack. Now, comparing this to the rest in the category, this has a flat platform style, as it says in the name, which is beneficial for those larger items that you want to carry that aren't compatible with a basket style option. And this covers the entire roof space if you need that extra space on top of your Jeep compared to other half rack options. Now, it also has a more angular plate construction with a windscreen on the front compared to others that may not take that approach, and has a solid load capacity, making this a great choice if those are some of the key features that you're searching for when it comes to a roof rack. Install here is a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and all said and done, it should take about 2 hours or so in order to get this mounted up. Now, at this point, I'm gonna hand it over to one of our installers. They're gonna show you a detailed breakdown on how you can get this mounted up to the top of your Jeep. So that is gonna wrap it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get to the install.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, scissors or diagonal cutters, 10mm wrench, an extension, 5/32 Allen socket, 6mm Allen socket, and 13mm swivel socket.
What's up, guys? Today we're installing a roof rack on our Wrangler, so let's get started. So now the first thing I've done is laid out all of our pieces. We've got our 2 sides, the front, our rear circular bar, and all of the crossbars. And then I have all of our combo bolts that we're going to be using to bolt all of this together. And then we have our 6mm bolts, 3 of them for each side for our circular back bar. So we're going to start up front, connecting our sidebar to the front using these 2 rib nuts. Now I'm going to get everything bolted on one side hand tight first, and then we'll raise up the other side all at one time. So So rotate that into place and then take your combo bolts through your sidebar and thread them into those riv nuts. And then we can start working on all of our bars. Now we can work on these crossbars. We've got 2 threaded holes on each end. We're going to be using the slot at the very top of our side rail. We're going to use those same 6mm combo bolts. So just thread those in hand tight. And then repeat that process, working your way back on one side for your other 5 bars. Next, we're gonna install our roller bar. So we are gonna have to lube up the end here that's gonna slide into our bearing. On the powder-coated lip side of the bearing, that's gonna be going towards the side, and this exposed metal here is gonna be going towards the bar. So we'll get some of that lube included in the kit. And just put a thin layer around there. Slide your bearing on. And then we have our 3 threaded holes that are going to line up with the 3 holes here. We're using our 6mm by 30 Allen bolts with flat washers and lock washers. So just line those up and thread them in. And we're also just getting these hand tight until we raise our other sidebar up. So now we'll go ahead and lube that up on the other side and we can install our second side rail. So now we're gonna take our other side rail and rotate this up. We're gonna get all of our bolts installed hand tight, the same as we did on the other side, and then we can go back and tighten everything down. Now just repeat that process all the way to the front of your rack and then we'll go back and tighten it down. And now I'm just going to take a 5/32 Allen socket and just work my way all the way front to back. And then repeat that process on the other side. So next we can install our mounting brackets onto our roof rack. That's gonna mount it to the roof here. Now we have 2 pieces that we're gonna install on the rack, and then we have 1 more that we're gonna install once this is on top of the Jeep. Now these are specific. There's front, center, and rear. They're stamped with an F, C, or R. And then there's different outer brackets for the front. I'll show you the differences in these up close once we go in to install these. So now our brackets look pretty much identical. They're just a little bit different. On here, you can see we have an F stamp and a C stamp. F for front, C for center. Both in the middle are gonna get a C for that center. Now on our secondary clamps, we have this notch in the middle on the one that's for the front. You have 2 of these, 1 for each side. And then all 6 of the remaining ones are gonna be exactly the same that you can use for the center and the rear. So now we're gonna take our primary mounting bracket and we're gonna go underneath this tab. Then we're gonna take this double nut plate and go underneath our bracket. Get your holes lined up. And then we're taking our 8mm bolts with a lock washer and a flat washer to thread into that double nut plate. Just thread those in hand tight so that we can still adjust them. And then we're gonna get our secondary clamp installed on the outside. Now for the second part of our clamp, we're gonna be using our combo bolts. These have the captured lock washer and flat washer. It's the same thing here, just thread them in hand tight so that you still have adjustment. And then you're just gonna repeat that exact same process for your other 7 clamps. Now we just need to put these rubber strips on the bottom of all of our mounting brackets. We're gonna slip it on and then just take scissors or diagonal cutters to cut off the excess on the other side. And repeat for your other 7. Now the last thing we need to do before we can lift this up onto the Jeep is to install this rubber strip all the way across the front here. And that's gonna be the same thing as the rubber strips on our brackets. Once we get to the other side, we'll take scissors or diagonal cutters to cut off our excess. So just start from one end, press it on, work your way around. Now at the other side, I'm going to take my diagonal cutters to cut this flush. And then you can push that the rest of the way on. So now we're ready to lift our roof rack up onto our Jeep. I grabbed myself a buddy to help me do this. Now you might want 2 more people, 1 at each corner, because it's not very heavy, but it is pretty bulky and awkward to get it up there. So now that we have this thing on top of the roof, you're gonna go ahead and adjust this to how you'd like. Now on our brackets, you wanna make sure that that is in that channel in your hardtop. Once you got everything how you like it, we're gonna take a 13mm swivel socket, get the bolts on the side and the top of our brackets and go through and tighten everything down. So now I've got everything lined up how I like it. So I'm gonna start on these outside bolts, take my 13mm swivel socket, tighten them down. And now we'll get the top of our bracket. And then repeat for your other 7 brackets. Now next we can install our outer mounting brackets. Now on these we have notches as well, just like we did on the secondary brackets that we installed on the rack. We have a U-shaped notch. That's gonna be for our front clamp. For the 2 center clamps, there's no notch. And then for the rear, there's this V-shaped notch. So we'll get these, line them up, and get our bolts to thread them in. So now we can get our bracket installed. This L shape is gonna go under the lip of the hardtop there. And then take your Allen bolt with a lock washer and flat washer. Thread that in. And then take a 6mm Allen socket to tighten that down. And do the same thing for your other 7. So now lastly, we can install our handles. We have 2 holes here. There's 3 sets of 2 holes for you to choose from. You got 2 handles for each side. I'm just gonna do the front set of holes and the back set of holes. And we have Allen bolts with flat washers going through the front and then flat washer, lock washer, nut going on the back. So now I'm gonna take my Allen bolt and flat washer and go through the front of my handle and then slide it through the hole. And put a flat washer, lock washer, and nut on the other side. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side of the handle. And then you can take your 5/32 Allen socket on the bolt side and 10mm wrench on the nut side and tighten those down. And then repeat that process for your other 3 handles. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Barricade HD platform roof rack for your 2018 and newer Jeep Wrangler JL 4-door. Thank you for watching, and for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.